This video is going to be concerning the filler commands, F1 and F2. F1 is for left side, F2 is for the right hand side. We already have AutoCAD, so let's open up a drawing. Run the SA command, which is just setting up and getting everything ready to draw. Sets our scale, does a whole lot of stuff. We'll have to do a video on that later. Z2 takes us to sheet 2. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to add a tag. So that's TG spacebar. When I insert the tag, that's creating a base point, an insertion point right here, top right corner of this offset. So notice I'm going to move my cursor off to the right hand side of the screen, out of the way, and from here on out we're going to draw, or we're going to type in with prompts, and it's going to draw it in with an auto insert at that base point, at that insertion point. So F1 is filler left, F2 is filler right. We've typed in F1 spacebar, asking for the width of the filler. Spacebar through will give you 1 inch as a default, or you can pick 2 points in a plan view or type in a number. Let's do 3 inches here. Countertop height, if you spacebar through it, everything concerning the countertop and base cabinets will be omitted, and it takes you to the wall cabinet prompt. We're going to type in 36 inches here. The next prompt is wall cabinet. This is the top of the wall cabinet above the finished floor. So I'm going to type in 84 here. If I spacebar through it, then it would omit everything concerning the wall cabinet. The next option for your wall cabinet is how tall is the cabinet itself. The default is 30 inches. You can type in whatever you want. Let's do 36 here. The next option is spacebar or pick insertion point. Spacebar is simply auto insert, or you could pick a point on the screen. If you're drawing out to the outside of the rectangle for whatever reason, you can still do that. We want to use the auto insert option, so we're going to hit spacebar, and you'll see all our geometry comes in, dimensioning, notations concerning the base cabinets and the wall cabinets. Couple of things to be aware of here in the customer profile: the height of the kick, the thickness of the countertop, the thickness of the return splash, and also the height of the backsplash are controlled globally through a separate file. For example, if you want 2-inch splash or 0 splash, you go in, change that variable to 2 or 0, and then that's the results you're going to get. As far as running this command, a couple of things, actually a few things happen that's intuitive. Number one, when we ran this command, this was our insertion point, our base point. This point now has shifted over here to the right hand side of the floor line. Same thing up here. We now have a wall cabinet base point, insertion point, and it's at the end of this filler line. And to illustrate this, again, let's move our cursor off to the right hand side, out of the way, and we'll do a W2. That's a wall cabinet, 2 doors. The width, let's go with 30 inches. We've already put the height in. We entered the height with our filler command, so we can spacebar through that option, and it asks how many shelves do we want. For this, we'll put in 2. How many cabinets do we want? Let's do 3 cabinets. Do we want to switch it? If you do S spacebar, that's going to build from the right to the left. We're building from the left to the right, so we're going to spacebar through this option, and it takes us to our insertion option. Auto insert a spacebar, or simply pick a point on the screen. We don't want to pick a point, we want to auto insert, so when we do, there's your 3 cabinets. Now, let's add a 1 drawer, 2 door base cabinet. So that's going to be a B12. B for base cabinet, 1 for 1 drawer, and 2 for 2 doors. Spacebar, and our first option is going to be the width. Now guess what? We've already entered that in. That applies here as the same way it applies to the wall cabinets above, so we'll spacebar through. We've already put in a countertop height. We did that with the filler command, spacebar through. Number of shelves, first time running this command, so we do need to add a shelf if we want a shelf. So we'll do 1. Multiple shelves, we want to align with what's going on up top, so let's do 3. We're not going to switch because we're going to build from the left to the right, so we're going to spacebar through that option. And now we're at the auto insert or insertion point. We want to auto insert, and there's your base cabinets. And that is about all there is to running the filler command, other than we have recently added a third option, base cabinets, wall cabinets. Now we have tall cabinets. So I'm going to start back on 0, so to speak, and we're going to enter a tag, and that just simply reset my base point, my insertion point to right here. Let's move out to the right hand side, get out of the way, so we'll do an F1 again. Filler, let's do 3 inches is fine. We're not going to do countertops or base cabinets, so space bar. Wall cabinets we're not going to do, so space bar. And then the next option is the height of the tall cabinet. We can do 84. As for insertion point, auto insert, so we're going to just simply space bar, and there's your wall line, filler, floor line, dimensioning, blocking heights, whatever. So let's add a tall cabinet real quick. Let's add 5 tall cabinets real quick. Let's go with 30 inches again on the width. Oh, I did a T2. T2 is a double door, or double door tall cabinet. The height we've already put in with the filler command at 84, so we'll put space bar through it. Let's go with 5 shelves, multiple cabinets, so we want 5. We do not want to switch it. We're building from the left to the right, so we're going to space bar one more time. And then the insertion point, we want a space bar for auto insert, and there's your cabinetry. Now a couple of things to keep up here. When we ran this command, it set our countertop variable back to 0, but it did, this 84 inches also applies to wall cabinets. So let me show you what just happened here. We've shifted now our insertion point to here, and our insertion point to right here. So let's do a wall cabinet, W2. Let's go with 30 inches again for the width. So we'll space bar through, 32 for the height. Number of shelves is 2. Multiple cabinets, let's do 3 again. We're not going to switch it, building from the left to the right. Insertion point, we're going to auto insert, and there's our 3 cabinets. Let's do a B12, B12 again. We already have our width, but guess what? When we ran the filler command, it reset the countertop height to 0, so we need to type that in. So let's do 36. Number of shelves is 1. Number of cabinets is 3. We're not going to switch, building from the left to the right, so space bar. We're going to auto insert, so space bar again. And we have literally drawn this entire elevation within a matter of, what, a minute, minute and a half, whatever it is. And we don't have to pick any insertion points. And that's about it for the filler command. Stay tuned for more. We have finished in commands, and then all the individual cabinet commands and countertop commands and how they work. Thanks for watching.